Try to visit a nearby museum. Do you get fascinated by seeing all organisms kept in bottles and by seeing stuffed animals? We require field studies and the collection of specimens for understanding the features and phylogeny of various organisms across the earth. Therefore, for a specific organism, there are various methods for collection, different procedures for preservation, and written documents for knowing the details of the organism. The fundamental resource for taxonomic studies is the collection of actual specimens of plants and animals. These organisms have to be preserved for further long-term studies. There are certain ways to preserve organisms. First and foremost, let us consider the different preservation techniques of plants. For plants, a quick referral system in taxonomical studies is herbarium. A herbarium is a repository of preserved plant specimens. In a herbarium, the plant specimens are dried, pressed and preserved on sheets. It is important to note that there is a universally accepted system of classification. And also, in each sheet, there is a label part that notifies the information about the date and place of collection, the common and botanical name of the plant, its taxonomical arrangement, etc. Herbarium is generally for dead plants. Then, how are live plants noted and recorded? Any guess? The botanical garden is a mode adopted for the collection and preserving method for live plants. They also provide a mode for the display of a wide range of plants. If you had visited a botanical garden, you would notice that each plant species is labeled with its common and botanical name along with its family. Indian Botanical Garden, Howrah, National Botanical Research Institute of Lucknow are the famous botanical gardens in India. Botanical gardens are seen in many countries. The Kew Garden of England has the world's largest and most diverse botanical and mycological collections. Now let's focus on the different techniques of animal preservation. Many educational institutes have museums. They have a collection of preserved plant and animal specimens. Specimens are preserved in many ways. There are dry specimens like insects. Here, the insects are collected, killed and pinned. Some organisms like sponges, snakes, frogs are preserved in chemicals, and a few larger living organisms are preserved as stuffed animals. What about wild animals? Have you got a chance to visit a zoo? In zoological parks, wild animals are given special care by humans and they are given a protected environment. And also, we could study the life patterns and food habits of wild animals. Imagine you're walking through a jungle. You were curious to know about the organism you see while walking. For understanding more about that single organism, first you need to identify the organism. For the identification of plants and animals, we have another taxonomic aid used, that is key. Key is an analytical approach and its function is based on similarities and dissimilarities in organisms. Contrasting characters are studied in each couplet. Here, you can accept one feature, thus eliminating the second feature. In a key, a pair of statements is referred to as couplet. Each statement in the key is known as a lead. Once you have completed these steps, you arrive at the scientific name or the family name of an organism. For identification purposes, there are different taxonomic keys for each category. So far, we have discussed diversity, taxonomical categories, and different taxonomical aids which help in taxonomical studies.
Manorama Horizon. Learning made simple.